My RS3 is way too damn quiet. So today, we're gonna fix that. The solution to our problem is in this box from Tone Exhausts. I know this is a steak is too juicy, lobster too buttery comment, but I hate unboxing like new parts because they're just wrapped up with 5,000 layers of bubble wrap. But obviously, you gotta keep it safe. Is this bigger than the factory one? Hold on. Oh my God, I think it's actually bigger. Holy shit. We got the full exhaust laid out here. The back of it looks so crazy. There's so much going on. And then it goes into a pretty fat, like kind of single mid pipe compared to this up here, which is like this exhaust looks like so like bent in like deformed, but I guess they just do that from factory to help make it fit and clear stuff. So definitely bigger diameter. And then we have it going to the midsection with, I opted for these resonators because I am eventually gonna go full catless. And the owner of the company told me that it's just too raspy or maybe a little bit too loud. So you need these just to kind of tone it down a little bit for street driving. I have these currently on the car. These are much bigger. So again, hopefully gonna be a huge sound difference with the size of this giant muffler at the back. Coming up closer to the front of the car, you have this section, which used to be the secondary cats. So the only thing that was done to this exhaust is just a secondary cat delete with this little mid pipe. Same thing that I'd be doing right here. So I am gonna replace it just because it's new piping and it looks better, but it's basically a fully stock exhaust. I know that taking this thing off is not gonna be fun. Look at the condition of these bolts, dude. I think I'm gonna have to just cut and saw these clamps off. Everything, it just seems rounded out to rust. So this is gonna be a very fun job. I'm so happy I have all new hardware. I have spent, not even kidding, 4 or 5 hours. Every single bolt and nut is rusted and rounded off. I cannot grip onto it. I can't fit extraction bolts. I can't fit, vice grips don't work. Nothing has been working. I wanna pull my goddamn hair out. I got 3 bolts out of 6 off. At this point, I'm just saying, it. We're chopping this bitch off. Between the two of us, this was actually so damn heavy. I swear it's more weight than my S58 exhaust, which is like 3 times the size of it. Is that a normal dent right there? This is so much lighter too, I bet. Before we do that though, I wanna fire this thing up and see what it sounds like with an open dump. I just have a primary cat, that's it, but it should still be pretty loud. Sounds like a tractor. I'll be honest, I was so dang fed up with all these ridiculously rusted and seized bolts, I stopped filming the install process, but it's on. Let me show you what it looks like. It's definitely a pretty looking system. Fitment overall was pretty good. The only thing that I guess could be better is that the tips are like very close to the diffuser. It's not touching and it doesn't rattle. You don't hear anything. There's also a possibility that, you know, it's me not installing the exhaust properly. I'm not a mechanic, but overall I'm happy with it. So let me show you guys what it sounds like. This is a warm start, and I love how the RS3 has like a burble, like startup roar from factory. It sounds so good. Oh yeah. My original plan was to now get some POV drive, but I don't have my camera mount for my windshield to like record myself while I drive. But I do have this, my half brim Insta360 POV setup. I literally took a knife and just chopped this off because first time when I tried to use this, I was just recording my roof and like my visor because I'm too tall, so like the POV angle was just terrible. So I had to like bring the camera back a bit, and this works. Unfortunately, I can't really give any proper or good revs because it's a stupid limiter at 3,000. I need to get, maybe it's a trans tune. I don't actually know what the limiter is, but Max said that if you put the shifter between neutral and drive, it like tricks the trans or whatever into thinking it's in like, I don't know, half neutral, half drive, and then you can floor it and it can redline. But one, I cannot imagine that being good for your transmission, and two, it doesn't even work. It works in his S3, but not in my RS3 because this is an R car. It's better, okay? Oh yeah. I'm watching the angle through here, so it's pretty cool, but I think we're good to go. I gotta turn off traction like this every single time I drive the car, or else I literally feel it transition from front wheel drive to rear wheel drive, and it's really annoying. When I first put the exhaust on, I was honestly not the happiest, not because of anything bad about the system, but because I didn't know that on RS3s, anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 RPM, you have an unavoidable amount of drone. And obviously my first time owning this car, I didn't know that Max's S3 struggles with the same thing, so maybe it's like a smaller motor, 4-cylinder, 5-cylinder kind of issue, I don't know. But after a couple days, I kind of got over it. It wasn't as bad, and then I really started to enjoy how much it opened up the sound of this engine. Pops between the shifts, just stock, like no trans tune or anything. They sound so good. I love it. Also, I'm very curious if this comes up on the mics, but tell me 3,100 RPM, okay? 3,100. You hear like a blip in the exhaust note. Listen. It's like the motor is like opening up the throttle body more or something. I don't really know like what's going on, but at first, for the longest time, I thought it was like a misfire or something, but it's too consistent at the exact same RPM range, so I'm gonna rule it out as it's not a misfire because we just did spark plugs and ignition coils, a full ignition kit on this thing, and I also did a walnut blast. We pulled off the intake manifold. Look how gunky this was. This car only has about 66,000 kilometers when I did this. I did not know that the carbon buildup was this bad on these cars, but like that's pretty gunky. It's all clean, it looks good now. Can't say I noticed a difference, obviously. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and be like, oh, the throttle response is so much better, because it wasn't that bad, but definitely worth doing. If you're gonna tune the car, whatever, just longevity, I always try to take the most amount of care of my cars before I start throwing a lot of parts at them, so that's what I did with this one. Pops, I love it. Ah! TT! Because I replaced my 340 with this, and a big thing that I loved about my 340 was the sounds that it made. I think it made all the right sounds. It was just so fun and entertaining to drive it every day, and I really do feel like this car does all of those things as well. You know, maybe even to a better degree, because I think this engine sounds better. I do still need to get an intake, a downpipe, so many more mods that I'm missing. So it's really awesome to say how much I'm enjoying this thing with just an exhaust system on it. I swear the oil cooling on this car is so good stock too. Like I'm at 97 degrees Celsius right now, and I've been kind of pinning it around a bit. It's also 25 degrees out, pretty warm day. Just dropped to 96. Like the stock oil cooler is so good. This car never runs hot. Overall, I'm super happy with how this turned out and what it sounds like. If you want to get your own, check out Tone Exhaust. They'll be linked down below. Use this code to save some money on your order. They have quite a few systems for different platforms. I had their mid-pipe on my M2. It sounded amazing. The RS3 is coming along pretty nicely. Some other things that I did that I didn't mention yet was I tinted the whole car. We did 20% on the sides. This is what it looks like. If you're curious, you want to get your own tint done. I usually go 35 all the way around, but tried to go a little bit darker. I think it looks pretty great. I think this rear windshield was already done at 5%, so I just left that. And then the front windshield I did at 50, so nothing aggressive at all, but with the 20 on the sides, it comes together pretty nicely. But the biggest thing that I wanted was for UV and sun protection, so now the car doesn't get as hot in the summer. And of course, it looks so much more aggressive. We also did a pretty aggressive paint correction on the whole car, front to back, by Ghost Automotive. I mentioned in my last video that the paint was kind of in some rough shape. Unfortunately, you know, paint correction isn't gonna fix paint chipping like there, and then, you know, these marks that I have on the door here that, you know, there's white there, more white there. But overall, before, pretty bad. There's a lot of scuffs on the trunk, the panels, and now it's way better. It actually looks like a pure crystal blue. You can really see the metallic flakes. The paint pops a lot more. It just looks cleaner, you know. Before, it really just looked like the previous owner took this thing through too many touch car washes, or, you know, use one of the brushes where you just kind of scrape the hell out of it and scratch the paint. But some small, simple things, but they were definitely super needed. I've got a bunch of carbon to put on this car, but I'm gonna save that for another video. But in the meantime, from an exhaust standpoint, we're definitely gonna be doing a catless downpipe and then a tune. Expect that to come pretty soon. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.